Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another anime review. I just recently watched Beastars season 1 and 2, and to be frank, I actually enjoyed first season a lot more than second season. And my reasoning is because in the first season, we're given exposition of the characters, predator and prey, how they interact in their society, what being a Beastar actually means, and it's all very intriguing, I think. And the dynamic is not too far from what you would experience in the hierarchy of junior high and high school and all the little mind games that happen within cliques. And I hated every bit and piece of that. It just was way too close to home, and why later in life I decided, probably much to my detriment, that I would stay with my mother and remain friends with her and have social interaction with my mother versus my friends. I really didn't have a lot of friends. I just don't trust people, honestly, because I've been hurt way too many times. It's the whole anxious avoidant thing. And I'm actually getting a little bit better about that, but I still have problems trusting people, and for good reason. I still get along with people quite well. It's just I just don't trust people in general. And you could see that. You could definitely see that take root and blossom into fruition throughout Beastars, and the psychology that's uncovered within the duration of both series is really quite fascinating. I just think they did a better version of that in first season, as well as we're able to see some just absolutely beautiful 2D cell animation in a sequence where Haru is trying to explain something, where I'm not going to actually talk about that because it's huge. I mean, it's a big spoiler if you haven't seen the series, so I'm not going to ruin that for others who haven't seen it yet. But that scene is the most iconic, I think, out of the whole season of Beastars. But season 2, I just felt was lacking, honestly. But I really enjoyed it. I really savored a lot of it. And I know season 3 is on its way, but it's one of those things that we're going to have to wait on. And I'm going to have to get back in gear as far as anime watching is concerned, because I'm way behind. I just heard of Spy Family, and a lot of otaku like myself are giving it nothing but praise all the way through and recommending it to me nonstop. So I think Spy Family will be my next venture into the realm of anime. I have to catch up with Attack on Titan, which Attack on Titan I think is one of the best anime out there. It's very reminiscent. I think the style is exactly like Claymore, because I remember when I first started reading Claymore, and I absolutely love Claymore. It's just absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. It's very fierce, and it's very serious. Unlike a lot of anime out there, which are more focused on the chibi version. I mean, I like that to a certain extent, but if you're looking for hardcore, hard-hitting, no exaggerated expression, less define of physics sort of thing, then Attack on Titan is one of those. And so is Claymore. Yeah, I would recommend those two. Well, Castlevania as well. Castlevania is another very serious, dark anime. Can't say too much about Beastars other than I absolutely love it, and I can't wait for season 3. Stone Ocean is one of those things that I'm gonna have to wait on. I'm a huge Joestar fan. If you don't know me, then you probably know I love Joestar. But when Joestar first started airing, I thought, oh yeah, this is exactly like a lot of old school animes that I was into growing up, and that's probably why I love it so much. And I like the whole different kinds of fight moves, and I think that comes from my background and playing fighting games so much when I was little, and just seeing all the different animes based on fighting games, which were actually pretty good. They were actually exceptionally done. I think my favorite would probably be Fatal Fury, because it was just incredible. No offense to other franchises out there, but so far as animation, storyline, characters, the fun, especially seeing the fan service that Mai brought us, Mai Shiranui, that sexy little thing. I wish I could cosplay as her, but unfortunately I have a little bit of a stomach, so I don't think that would work. Plus, blue eyes, again, not gonna work for Mai. Um, I absolutely adore that. I know that's super old school and giving my age away, but a lot of the older school anime I really love, and I've been a collector of old school anime ever since I was young. All back in the days of Sam Goody, they knew who I was. What else can I say? Like I said, I need to get back in gear with Attack on Titan. My Hero Academia, I'm up to date on. Demon Slayer is one of those animes that harkens to my past. And I like the whole idea is set in a completely different era. The one that we haven't really seen a lot of, considering, different historically based anime, which I really enjoy, like Afro Samurai was one. Samurai Champloo was another one. Samurai 7, one I think that doesn't get enough attention because it's based on the Magnificent Seven of the Seven Samurai, Kurosawa's venture into cinema. If you know anything about that, then yeah, Seven Samurai. That's one you should definitely watch, because, I love the characters, and they did a Western with it, and I've loved just about every iteration I've seen of the Seven Samurai. What can I say other than that? Working on a couple of new scripts, gonna be writing about some cryptids, got a cryptid survival guide in the works. I'm gonna be working on, I'm probably gonna I'm probably going to rehash it and re-edit and do like I'll do the first edition, and then I will add to it, because I'm sure it's one of those things like a reference book, because it will be a reference book. What I'm doing for fun, but I think it's going to be one of my best things I've ever done, other than the Lux Saga and Genre Jumper, which right now I'm working on a part of that series called Wordsmiths. And then the next venture I go into, it's going to be about the Nocturnals, and the Nocturnals collaborate or combine their abilities with the Fierce American Protectors. That acronym, so funny. Coming from the more degenerate part of my mind. But I think that's going to be a lot of just absolute fun to write. I think it'll be a blast to flesh out these characters. I'm going to be working on a collaboration with Brightstar, which it's called Time Travel Trouble, which is probably harkening to an earlier era of Sonic Adventures, which we have seen of and heard of, but it's more taken on Tenchi Muyo in Love, if you've seen that film, which is absolutely one of my favorites, particularly the references in that movie itself, just Western references littered throughout, because that movie is it's so beautiful. It really is. It's one of my absolute favorites. It still holds up today. Tenchi Daughter of Darkness, also another good one. And Tenchi and Love is different in and of itself, but the animation is so different, and each movie by themselves stand out as my absolute favorite foray into animation itself, just anime in general, because it reflects upon a franchise that I just adore to no end. His is basically Star Wars in anime form, mixed in with a little bit of feudal Japanese influence in old archaic ways. Their tradition and the honor based respect that the family I've always loved, because it's so prominent. It's very prominent. And then the harem and the little bit of fan service that they didn't really, it's not too much fan service, more innuendo. Innuendo is huge in 90s anime, which is so clever, but the Japanese are just such witty jokesters, and you can see just that whole influence, and they don't make them like that anymore, and I hate that fact. It's like, oh no, we gotta be polite, we gotta be politically correct. Ugh, please, no one's getting hurt. It's all very funny, and not only that, it's very well written. Yeah. Well written and clever. What else can I say? Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've been up to, other than possibility of getting the studio ready and going. Still working on that, as you could possibly see in the background. It's a mess. But since it's been raining and doing nothing but raining, hopefully my brother and I will be working on that and getting the rooms ready for possible company when we go on our trip. We have a trip this coming weekend to Illinois, where we'll be sailing and seeing Leonid and friends again. July is probably going to be spent in Alderson, fingers crossed, because they have a huge fireworks extravaganza, which is massive. It's a small town, but this is the real deal. Joe Dirt would be proud. Let's see. Come September, I'm hoping that I will be filming in That Which Remains, which I will keep you up to date on. I will be headed to Iowa. So hopefully going to Iowa, hopefully going back to Missouri. Don't know if I will or not. Fingers crossed. I'd like to go to Georgia because I have a cousin in Georgia, and he lives not too far from Atlanta. So maybe I could pop on by, say hi. I need to make amends in Maryland as well, because not a lot of people know this, but I was going to attend a convention in Maryland, and this was not long after my dad died, so I'm suffering a lot, and not a lot of people are aware of this, but I was suffering big time. I didn't have a lot of help. I had to go through therapy. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I will be extremely frank. But what I went through, I had my faith, my humor, and maybe a few extended family members that got me through. I mean, I have bad days. It's not like it used to be, but I went to Maryland to see my collaborator, if you know her, Bright Star. I did. I got to her door, and there was nobody home as far as I could see or hear, and I should have just knocked on the door, but I didn't do it. I got scared because I didn't like the area, because it just was something new that I wasn't used to, and I let my fear take over, and I left. And I regret that. It's one of my regrets. So what I'm going to do is going to make up for it. And I'm hoping I can go to Baltimore. Because in Baltimore, one of my favorite authors is actually buried, which would be Edgar Allan Poe, if you don't know me. I'd love to make a visit, pay my respects, and make amends for just a bad decision on my part. I'm sure all is forgiven on that accord. But it's just, I just think it's the right thing to do, and prayerfully I'll get to the point where I can do it. That's pretty much all I have to say. Though I did notice on Kiss Cartoon, they have a Moomin Valley series, which is something I love Moomin Valley. It's one thing that I've known about for a long time. I became a fan of it kind of late in life, but I've just grown to adore Moomin Valley. So yeah, I'm going to be watching season 3, and I will give my review of it as soon as I'm done with it. But till then, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.